You see? Saturday, which represents Saturn, which represents the black planet. Saturn rules Capricorn, the Sabbatic goat. He has the third eye. Out the top of his head shoots the flame. The Kundalini energy is down here, but when it comes up here, it represents the flame energy, which is also a form of the Christ.
Now, are you spooked out yet?
Oh, Mr. Tyrone. I just gotta get freaky for you because you love the hoes.
I don't care if they don't like me. I came here to stunt. Yeah. I don't care if they don't.
What's good, everybody? If you're a first time viewer of my content or this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This lovely lady, she sent me this video and she wanted me to give my honest response on the basis of Baphomet. Now, if you are a member of my membership on YouTube, we will be discussing the basis of Baphomet, so that will be coming this weekend. I promise. All right. I've been talking about it for the past couple of months and all this type of stuff, and I've been lollygagging. But nonetheless, we will be talking about that this weekend. So I will have that video. It's going to be available for like the masses, but it's going to go exclusively to my members 24 hours after it's uploaded. So become a member. All right. The link will be in the description box, or you might have the little join button. You might see that. But anyways, came across this video and she wanted to know my personal thoughts on this and what's going on in the comment section. Now, even today in 2023, yes, ladies and gentlemen, people are still scared of symbolism. People are still scared of the spook. And one of those spooks is Baphomet. And I love to rep Baphomet. I love to rep the eternal black goat, you know, the Sabbatic goat. And for those who don't know who Baphomet is just an archetype or derives from Baphomet. And Baphomet is basically another formation of Osiris. Literally, if you actually study the story of Baphomet, he wasn't even originally a goat, he was a ram. And on top of that, Baphomet was also the father of Haru in another version, in another story within Kemetic mythology. Okay, there's even a particular painting or description or depiction of Baphomet being admired by Heather and Alset and so on and so forth. So Baphomet or Baphomet is nothing but a reflection of who you are as a black man or woman. But even more so, when we're dealing with this scientifically, Baphomet or Baphomet is the formation of duality between light and darkness, good and evil, yin and yang, masculine and feminine energy. And typically when you see a particular art formation of Baphomet who has a goat head but women breasts and a male body, this freaks out a lot of people because this is something unusual, right? People will even go out of their way to say that Baphomet is the rainbow, representing the rainbow and the switcheroonies and those type of things. And all those people are bugged out, they spooked out. You know, you listen to the young pharaohs and all this other type of stuff, right? But if you watch this video, and I saw this video on conspiracy depiction, right? This woman is doing the Baphomet hand gesture alongside John Legend, right? And so basically she did this hand gesture, right? She did this hand gesture and she got, I guess, you know, she knew what it was about, but like, I don't know, I guess she got a little scared or she wasn't supposed to do that, whatever the case is. But even more so, what I find to be even funnier were the comments. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, they were spooked out in the comments. And before we get to the actual video where, you know, one of our great master teachers, Bobby Hemmitt, is going to break down, and I'm just going to show a quick video where we're going to describe what Baphomet is. In this comment section, we clearly see a portrayal of spookism. This is spookism 101. Okay. So what I want to show you here is a thread, right? And you see all these spooked out Negroes in the comments, okay? We're not going to go through all of them, but you're mostly going to see a lot of spooked out Negroes in the comment section. Now, this is no disrespect to those who are Christians or believers of Christ, but if you're not willing to do your due diligence and your research, there's nothing I could do for you, okay? But if you just look in these comments, you know, I'm not going to go through all of them, but there are some people in here that are level-headed. You see right here, there's no God, there's no devil. The true root of Satanism is the belief in yourself. The man is spot on, all right? That's the whole basis of Satanism, Luciferianism. The true root is believing within yourself, knowing the true source is you, the God within, right? That you have the power within. The belief is you are responsible for your own life and your actions. And your actions dictate your life's outcome. The thought process is actually why Christians determined this to be enemy number one. They created a whole deity figure around it and demonized it in all their teachings. Because what can be more dangerous to Christianity than having people believe that they themselves are in control of their own future and not some invisible dictator in the sky? And the reason why he say invisible dictator in the sky is because even Jesus understood that the God of the Israelites was the demiurge. All right, a delusional, a deluded, a false God. All right, and now that's very controversial to say. So, you know, you might be in my comments, you might post this up somewhere and be like, this man is bugged out. What in the world is he talking about? I highly encourage you to study Gnosticism for yourself so that you can come to your own conclusion on the basis of your God. But I just need you to look at the Old Testament and the certain stories that involve your God from a different lens. Because I guarantee you, you would rather live in the new covenant than the old covenant, right? You'd rather deal with the God of the new than the God of the old. Anyways. But you see all these comments and stuff like that. Some people are on point. Other people are a little bugged out. Other people, you know, just like what I was saying, y'all need to educate yourselves on symbolism. Baphomet isn't evil. My boy over here, Merkaba, you know, he was saying that Baphomet isn't evil. It's just misunderstood. And, you know, he was educating some folk in here, but a lot of people in there were very bugged out. Of course, we don't have time to go through all the way to the beginning because I don't know why it would do this on my computer. But without further ado, let's head on to the Baphomet video by Mr. Bobby Hemmitt. All right, let's get into it.
Y'all all right? Okay. This picture you see is the Baphomet. You've seen this several times. This is Alypius Levi. The Baphomet, you think it's Satan. Number one, the Sabbatic goat, the Sabbath, which is Saturday. Saturday comes from the word planetary Saturn. And Saturn is Satan. The little new look at the old god. Satan, Saturn, Saturday. You see? Saturday, which represents Saturn, which represents the black planet. Saturn rules Capricorn, the Sabbatic goat. He has the third eye. Out the top of his head shoots the flame. The Kundalini energy is down here, but when it comes up here, it represents the flame energy, which is also a form of the Christ. Which is a form of the Christ. You got the moon, you got the black moon. It's the same as the yin and the yang symbol. Feminine and masculine. You see, these are ancient. This is an ancient Moorish symbology. The Moors went up into Europe. They set up 16 universities. In the you go to university and you go into a fraternity. Well, they set up, the fraternities were your ancient orders, York Rite, Scottish Rite, Knights Templar, which worship the Baphomet, the Knights Templars. This is the Moors' science, Moorish science. You know, the Christians needed a symbol for devil. So they took the ancient Greek god Pan, which is a form of the god Amun-Ra, because this is the same picture, just a same converted picture. This picture and this picture is one and the same. This is the Baphomet. But you can see you have the Masonic symbol, which is also a star, as above, so below.
And something that I want to add on here, because a lot of people will watch this and still be spooked out. Symbolism does not, it doesn't corrupt you. You know, some people, I've had people tell me, like, whenever, especially when I was an Israelite and I was studying more stuff, I used to have Israelites tell me, like, don't read up on everything, brother. You don't want to be led astray. You know, it something about it with us as you know, when black people are religious, they feel like if they learn more stuff, you know, it's going to lead them astray. If they learn more stuff, you know, it's going to turn them away from their spiritual journey. It's going to have them be spooked out and go crazy and go psycho. And that's what we correlate to just having knowledge and information, is being bugged out or being insane or going psycho. Just because we evolve our spiritual beliefs or our perspectives in life, because we know more and we perceive life in different ways and patterns. So something that we really need to understand is symbolism. Okay, we understand when we see a stop sign, it means stop, right? When we see a caution sign, it's to be cautious. When we see a red light or a yellow light, green light, you know, a toxic symbol, you know, like don't drink this or don't put your fingers on this, or if your fingers get on this, you know, wash your hands immediately. There are certain symbols that we understand and that we use for our advantage. And this doesn't mean that we are to be afraid of these symbols, but we are to utilize these symbols to protect us, to enlighten us, to enlighten others, whatever your mind see fit. Okay, so when it concerns Baphomet, Baphomet is teaching you, and it symbolizes and it describes your inner being and also your outer being concerning your divine pathway of being the hero of your journey, right? Balancing light and darkness, balancing the duality within yourself. Those type of things. But let's continue.
As above, so below. But if you look this way, pointed up, this is also the so-called Star of David, which is two inverted pyramids. If you look this way, this is the head of a penis. But if you look at the pubic hair of a woman, it's the vagina. You see what I'm saying? As above, so below. You see? This picture is the same thing. You see the horns on Amun-Ra's head. You see? The horns on Amun-Ra's head. This is an interesting picture, the one I had up. This is the god Abraxas, or Aeon, coming from Persia, but it's, oh, that's good, brother. You straight. Y'all got a tight shift here. Coming from Persia, you got the black dot up here. You got the lion, which represents the Sphinx. You got the wings that you see on the Christ. You have that. Anytime you see any kind of stone, that also represents the pineal gland. Anytime you see the serpent, that represents the kundalini energy that we'll also get into. But the lion, you got the beast, 666, which you're all scared of. Guess what the damn beast is? You go to the damn middle of the earth and you will see the Sphinx, horror market, a lion, a beast, which is the doggone Sphinx. And guess what the Sphinx is? Horus on the horizon. Guess what the beast is in the Bible? It is the Christ. It is the Christ. Satan and Christ is one and the same. These are esoteric terminologies. The word Satan means hidden God, hidden son, pineal, Lucifer, the God of darkness. Christos, or Christ, represents Satan, get behind me, or it means Christ conquers Satan, which you become mathematics.
Okay, so what he just said here, if you conquer mathematics, if you are skillful in mathematics, or if you educate yourself in mathematics, you become mathematics. Something that reminds me here is in the Vedas, where it tells you if you learn of Brahma and if you become aware and enlightened of Brahma, you become Brahma, right? If you know Brahma, you become Brahma. And that's the same thing here, is concerning the basis of your divine spiritual journey, is when you enlighten yourself and you take in knowledge and seek knowledge, it becomes a part of who you are, because it's not like you're taking in knowledge. You are literally unlocking things within yourself. You are like, oh. So when you have knowledge of this isn't something that you're taking in. This is something that you already knew. You're just unlocking this information within yourself, because you are the God of this earth, right? You are the God having a personal or a human experience, and having knowledge of self, or coming back to having knowledge of self and knowing who you are, is just you regaining back your identity, you regaining back what you lost. So let's continue.
You synthesize it. The black melanin switch on, black open and switch on. I know people haul ass on that one. Switch on. Switch on. The word Satan only means melanin.
And even more so, when he was talking about Christ and Satan being one person, literally, if you study this one particular symbol in Kemetic mythology, there is a particular story where Set and Heru are the same person. Okay, so don't get so caught up in, like taking certain stories literal. There were certain mystical codings within each story that was told in most ancient civilizations. All right, so you might take the Bible literal and you really think Moses walked on water or spread the Red Sea. You might think Jonah was really in the belly of a beast or of a fish for 3 days. You might think Jesus actually resurrected from the dead after 3 days. You might think that Adam and Eve was really seduced by a serpent, a talking snake in the Garden of Eden. These stories are not real. They are mythological, but being mythological actually brings more substance. It brings more power to it, because mythology comes from the imagination, comes from the mind. And once you tap into your mind, your mental power, and you can visualize being the Christ, you can visualize being Adam, being Eve, being Moses, being Jonah, being Heru, being Set, being Ogun and Oshun. When you can visualize these characters, it's kind of like when we grew up and we dressed up like Superman, we dressed up like Batman. Kids nowadays dressing up like the Black Panther. That's the beauty of mythology, is that it gives you courage, it gives you power, it gives you strength to go out on an everyday basis, being what you want to be in this lifetime. That's what these mythological stories were meant for. But there were levels to this, right? Because Jesus always said that's why he always had to speak in parables, right? Some people, they got the message from an esoteric and a general basis, right? So Jesus, he'll talk to one of the general audience and stuff like that, and they might hear a good story. Oh, the prodigal son, that was just so beautiful, all this type of stuff. But like, what was really the setting and the coding behind the prodigal son? Things like that. And so you have to understand polarity, duality, energy. There is no good and evil, essentially. These are just energies within this world, right? And you have to master both and utilize both to become the best version of yourself. Let's continue.
In alchemical terms, it means the word Satan, you get the ancient god Set. But also Set is also named Chem or Chemophis, black god. It means hidden god, hidden substance. The Christ represents the seed that is inside of the melon. There's one little seed that's inside of the melon called the Bendu seed, the crystal seed, the white stone. And so when this melanin is synthesized, it becomes the Christos. Jesus rides into Jerusalem on an ass, a donkey. Set is known as the ass deity. But here's the picture I just showed you was the picture that showed you all of that. Horus Set. This is the same thing. This is Horus. This is Set behind him. Horus, or the hero, the Heru of the hero, is called the great face of God. The face. The face. Jacob, Jacob, the black god, wrestled with the angel all night. At the end of the night, he saw the face of God, and it was called what? Pineal. Horus. That black angel was Set. All this means yin and yang.
That's all it means. That's literally what I just said. That's all this is just talking about the balancing of these energies that also dwell within yourself, as well as what you see outside of yourself. And to hit just a quick information on the Bendu seed. Remember when Jesus talked about how if you have the faith as small as a mustard seed, you'll be able to move mountains? That's the Bendu seed. That's the Bendu seed. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, that's the Bendu seed. This is how you tap into enlightenment, right? This is how you become the Christ. This is why he said that the light of the body is the eye. Anyways, do your own research. You ain't got to take my word for it, all right? We're going to hit up more on those type of subjects on my Patreon. You can hit the Patreon in the description box below. Let's continue.
Light, the core. These are alchemical terminologies that religion have turned into damn moralistic shit, and you worshiping a devil, which means diabos, dual one, doppelganger, your inner self, your double. The devil, double. Y'all all right?
We are all right.
Okay.
We are all right. Now, I don't know for y'all who are watching through the screen. I don't know if y'all are all right, but I'm all right. But shout out to the elder, Mr. Bobby Hemmitt. All right. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the information that was given to us in this video. You know, anything that I touched upon or hit upon that you want to know more information about. If you genuinely want to know from my personal perspective, hit my Patreon up and we can talk it up and we can chat it up, and I can give you from my perspective all the information that I personally know concerning the basis of these topics, whether it's the Bendu seed, whether it's and the Bendu seed comes from like Hinduism, all that type of stuff, whether it's that particular concept, the Baphomet, just learning more of the energies and the powers that dwell within yourself, all that good stuff. So share your thoughts respectfully in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, helps out with the algorithm. And before you go, one more favor that I ask of you. Check out these other videos.